Welcome to the final section of the Learn R Programming video series, Working with Data. In this section, we'll take the skills that you've learned in the previous videos and apply them to an example of a real-world data analysis problem. We'll begin by learning how to read data in from a file. We'll learn how to subset data by value, how to perform descriptive and inferential statistics, how to manipulate data in a data frame, and how to write data back to file. This video is on reading data from a file. We'll learn how to read comma-separated data with the read.csv function, and how to read any form of delimited data with the read.table function. Let's have a look at an example dataset. This dataset is in the file drug_trial.csv, which is attached to this video. The dataset contains the results of a drug trial. The purpose of the trial was to determine whether a drug helps people to lose weight. You've been given the results of the trial in the CSV format. CSV stands for comma separated value. As you can see, each column in the dataset table is separated by a comma. The first line in the file contains the column names, separated by commas, and the remaining lines of the file contain the rows of the dataset, also separated by commas. There are 6 columns in our dataset and 500 rows because there were 500 patients. So how do we read the CSV file into R? Let's move into RStudio. So R provides a function called read.csv. As the name suggests, it's for reading CSV files into data frames. If we provide read.csv with the name of our file and store the results in a variable, we'll call it drug trial. So we can use is.dataframe to verify that the results are stored in a data frame. However, if we try and look at the contents of the data frame, there are just too many rows to see or to display on the screen easily. So we'll use a function called head, which will show us just the first few rows of the data frame. And we can see that we've succeeded in reading the file into a data frame. We've got our 6 columns, and we've got several rows of data that looks pretty good. There don't seem to be any mistakes in the data. So that's the read.csv function. Sometimes, unfortunately, you'll be given datasets that are formatted in a slightly different way. So for example, here's the same dataset, but in the TSV format, tab separated value. As the name suggests, each column is separated not by a comma, but by a tab character. There are some additional differences with this TSV file. Some of the values are surrounded by quotation marks, and the rows have row numbers at the beginning of them. So how do we read this TSV file into R? Well, for that we can use a function called read.table. Read.table behaves in quite a similar way to read.csv, and it's also for reading data from files into data frames. However, read.table provides a lot of additional options for dealing with datasets that might be formatted in a slightly different way. So we'll use the read.table function to read in drugtrial.tsv, and we'll give it an argument sep, which tells read.table what character separates the columns in the file. \t is a special set of characters that represents a tab, because as you recall, the columns in our file are tab separated. The quotation marks and row numbers will be automatically handled by read.table. So we'll read this into the drug trial variable. We'll confirm that it's actually a data frame, and using head we can confirm again that we've got our 6 columns, and the data appears to be formatted properly. There don't seem to be any problems with reading the data in from file. Here's an exercise to test your understanding of this video. Find the file strange_format.data attached to this video. Examine the file to see how the data is formatted, then write an R script to import the data into a data frame.